Right now, somewhere in your kitchen, there is food your great-great-grandmother would not recognize. It comes in a crinkly bag. It has a shelf life measured in years, not days. It was engineered in a laboratory to hit the exact flavor threshold that keeps your hand moving back toward it, almost without you deciding to move. You eat it because it tastes good. That part is not a design flaw. That part is the whole point. But here is what nobody puts on the label. Your body has absolutely no idea what to do with it. Not because your body is broken, because your body is old. Genuinely old. Your gut, your metabolism, your hunger hormones, your relationship with fat and sugar and salt, all of it was calibrated across roughly 2 million years of eating something almost entirely different from what sits on your plate today. Agriculture is 10,000 years old. Processed food is barely 100. 2 million years of evolutionary pressure does not negotiate with a century of industrial convenience. So what did ancient humans actually eat? The real answer is not what any diet book will tell you. It is stranger, messier, more varied, and far more interesting than that. In 2010, anthropologist Herman Pontzer of Duke University traveled to northern Tanzania to study the Hadza, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer populations on Earth. The Hadza do not farm. They do not refrigerate. They wake up each morning and find what they can. Pontzer went there expecting to document extraordinary physical exertion, a metabolism burning hot from constant movement. What he found changed the way scientists think about human energy entirely. The Hadza moved more than sedentary Westerners, yes, but their total daily energy expenditure, adjusted for body size, was not dramatically higher. Their metabolisms were not running faster. Their bodies had adapted to work efficiently within whatever calories were available. This was not a story about how much they moved. It was a story about what they ate and when. The Hadza eat approximately 150 different plant species across a single year. 150. The average American eats fewer than 20 distinct plants, and the majority of those come from just 4 industrial crops: corn, soy, wheat, and rice, often in forms that have been broken down, reconstituted, and flavored until the original plant is essentially unrecognizable. For most of human prehistory, your ancestors did not eat on a schedule. There were no mealtimes, there was only food, and the absence of food, and the ongoing project of finding out which one today would be. Some days the foraging was rich. A tree collapsed and exposed a honeybee nest. A hunt succeeded, and the entire group ate until they could not move. Other days there was very little, other days nothing. The meat they ate looked nothing like the meat in your grocery store. Wild game is lean in a way that feedlot beef is not. It carries a fundamentally different fat profile, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind associated with reduced inflammation and cardiovascular protection, not the saturated fat ratios that dominate animals raised on grain in concentrated spaces. When researchers analyzed the nutritional makeup of wild game hunted by modern foragers, the macronutrient profile is almost unrecognizable compared to a supermarket steak. They also ate insects, termites, beetles, caterpillars, grubs, ant eggs. Insects are extraordinarily dense in protein, essential fatty acids, iron, and zinc. Many traditional societies around the world still eat insects regularly, not as a challenge or a novelty, but as one of the most efficient food sources a landscape can offer. Your ancestors were no different. Insect protein was not an emergency ration, it was Tuesday, and they ate fermented foods, not always by design. Food left in heat does what food does. Honey ferments. Tubers and fruits begin to break down. Over thousands of generations, your ancestors developed a preference for the sour and the funky and the slightly acidic, because fermented food was food that had already been partially broken down by bacteria, made easier to digest and tested, not intentionally, but by the long filter of not dying from it. Your gut microbiome evolved alongside those foods. The trillions of bacteria currently living in your digestive tract, a community so complex that scientists compare it in diversity to a rainforest, were shaped across millennia by fermented roots, bitter phytochemicals, fibrous tubers, irregular protein, and the chaotic variety of a landscape that changed with the season. Harvard evolutionary biologist Richard Wrangham spent decades building an argument for what he called the cooking hypothesis. His case, laid out in careful detail across years of research, is that fire did not merely change what humans ate, it changed what humans became. Cooking does something extraordinary to food before it ever reaches your